excited to wake up and like live my life because I feel like my life is worth living. Like my life means something.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, my call to action would be go. Mm-hmm. Go figure it out. Go find it.
Yeah.
Go be Bilbo Baggins. Go chase after Gandalf, right?
Yeah.
Go do it.
Yeah, it's actually a really good metaphor.
Well, because he was terrified. He didn't want to go. He wanted to stay with his books.
What did Gandalf say? He said the world. He said, what did he say? It's not in your books and your maps, but it's out there.
He said that
the things worth living for.
No, he said
that
the adventure, something along. I'm paraphrasing. Adventure is not in your books and your maps. It's out there. Pointing, obviously to the outside world and what's beyond. And Bilbo says to him, "Can you promise that I will come back?" And Gandalf says, "No, and if you do, you won't be the same," which is true. You will not be the same if you go, and I don't think that's really a cost. I think that's a privilege to be able to be changed and to evolve and to think differently and newly about things. Have your mind opened up.
Yeah, and when Bilbo asked, can you promise me that I'm going to be like that I'll come back? That's like him asking like, am I going to suffer? And I think
that's him asking, am I going to be safe like I am with my books at home?
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have to suffer in order to change. And the only thing constant in life that you should be striving for is change.
Well, I think it's not only being comfortable, but it's I'm afraid of...
I say constant.
Or suffering. I'm afraid of loss. I'm afraid of, like, what if everything falls apart? What if the worst happens?
But that's what I'm saying. In order for you to change, that is a necessity. I don't know a single person who has made it to their destination, made what they want to do without suffering and or loss.
Well, yeah. You ask people that have been, like, if you talk about...
Unless you're Jesus, of course.
Well, he did suffer and lose a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Everything.
But maybe I'm alluding to God.
Yeah.
Well, but I guess he has too.
Yeah.
I guess everybody has. You know what? Case closed.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So, what I'm talking about, even the people that like when you look at those interviews of people going up to people who have they're rich and they made it with their business or whatever.
Oh yeah, and they're like, how'd you do it?
How many times were you broke? Have you ever been broke in your life? Is a question.
And they go, say yes.
They laugh and they go, a lot.
Well, except for the people that are like the son of the father, of the grandfather.
Silver
got like
spoon.
Old money.
Yes, the
you gotta say it twice too. Old money.
Nepotism is what we call that.
I was about to say something else that's not
a nepo
family.
Baby.
Nope.
Okay, so
I'm just not gonna go there.
Okay, so
take a swig, pig.
That's my question is why not? And they're like, well, what if it all goes wrong? And my answer would be, well, what if it all goes right?
Yeah.
What if it does? You don't know.
I think that you need to be. You need to remind yourself that it can and could go right.
This is the thing this is why I'm saying this.
Yeah.
I have seen the sunset over the Greek islands, right? I have seen the sun rise in the Swiss Alps early in the morning. Absolutely beautiful.
Is this the beginning to a poem?
No. But listen, right?
I know I am.
And so for me, like I have seen the forests in Uganda. I went out and I saw those things, and you know what it confirmed for me? That there is more out there.
Yeah.
Things that I don't know things that I don't know that exist out in the world, that if I went and saw them, it would change my perspective. It would change how I saw myself, and it would show me a place maybe that I would fit in better.
Yeah.
Or a calling that I would have in my life, or something that would make my heart sing. I could find those things because they're out there, and they do exist.
Yeah.
But the cost is that you have to go. You have to bite the bullet, and you have to dig your heels in and say, I'm going to make this happen. And there are people who are like-minded who are out there.
Yeah, but most people are not willing to go that far.
Well, no. And also,
honestly,
what I'm not saying...
I feel... Well, I don't feel bad for them because they made the active decision not to do that. But I feel pity for those who, again, on their deathbed are like, I wish I did more. Because they can't, there's no going back. Like, yeah, heaven's going to be far better than life.
Right.
But, like, this is just as important as that.
Right. Well, what I'm talking
about
is...
From my spiritual perspective.
Well, yeah, heaven is a different... That's a whole different game.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is understanding what your life means and how much meaning it does have and how much purpose it could have and where you could actually do something where you felt like what you did mattered and it had an impact, right?
Yep.
So for me, when I helped out at an orphanage in Uganda, that made me feel like I had purpose, like I was making an impact on these kids.
I think that would help anybody.
Well, even just like
purpose.
When we arrived, this is the amount of love that we were embraced with the different cultures and everything. They were so kind and so loving. And I think in America, a lot of times we have these ideas that we've superimposed on all of that.
I was thinking about that. I feel like, and this may not just be North American. I don't want to interject. I want you to keep saying what you're going to say. But I think for some reason, like real love, not romantic love, but real love is very taboo in North America.
Well, it's the kind of love where it is you are not afraid to show all of what you are.
Yeah.
Right? That's the kind of love where you're taken in and it's like you are human and I see you as human. But the problem is that in American society, it is about looks. It is about what you have.
Yep.
And it is about your social standing, your clout.
Yep.
And here's the deal. Here's the deal, right? When you get to the end of your life, you realize that none of that mattered.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, what did I do? How much time did I waste worrying about all that stuff? How much time did I waste caring about what other people thought when the reality is I should have cared how I saw myself and how I saw my legacy and the way that my love actually impacted people. Like, what does that say about me as a person? Was I the kind of person, like, if I was a child, if I went back to being a child, would that version of me want to be protected by this adult version of me?
Right.
Would they feel safe with that person? Would they respect that person? And I think that's a good question to ask yourself, you know? Like, would I be upset with myself with the way I turned out? Like, would I look at myself and say, we had these dreams.
Yeah.
And we wanted so much more and you're just doing this? Like, why? Yeah. It's like, well, life was harder than we thought. You know, it was different and it was just too difficult to try and balance all that.
And this is a rhetorical question for people. Like, why should that warrant not doing the things that will bring about change? Again, like I think it goes down to like what we've talked about in this conversation is live life with no regrets. Love is the answer, always, like you said. And when you're in Uganda, that was probably the most like uplifting like thing that gave you fulfillment, and because of the love that you received and the love that you gave to other people.
Well, let me tell you this. So we were having a service. It was I don't know if it was on Sunday, but it was just a service at night we were having. And
this is in Uganda?
This is in Uganda at a church we were staying at that was actually built by the people that I was with at the time.
Oh, wow.
They built this church. So it was cement, and it was we were in a village called Hoima.
Hoima.
Yeah, and they were so loving, like some of the kindest, sweetest people ever. And I remember sitting in this plastic chair as we were praying, and I forget what prayer it was, like praying for the service or just in general, whatever it was. So we had all bowed our heads, and I had a kid in my lap, and like the chair started breaking, like the back two legs, and so I slowly just started going like this, and I was like, oh gosh. And then the women that were behind me, they started trying to lift me up, and they're like, come on, we have to get up. Oh, come on.
Oh,
and
man.
I started laughing because I was like,
and this is in the middle of a prayer.
Yeah, and the child like I think he put his hand like behind, like accidentally smacked me in the face, and I was like, oh. And
not graceful.
No, but it's moments like that are just they're so human.
Yeah.
And I miss that. I miss the human connection and the realness of life, and the going out and finding and searching and understanding, so that you can know where you belong and what you mean, and that your life is worth so much more than I think that society has told you.
Yeah.
That you could be so much more, and you have much more to offer to the world than I think you understand.
Yeah.
But it starts with kindness and
love.
Patience and love, grace. It starts with being the sort of person that you would have wanted in your life as a child. And
I think this is the quote from the person who created Winnie the Pooh. And he said, I mean, it's pretty much paraphrasing of what you said, but this is actually a quote from him. I'll look it up and actually put it on the thing in post because I know this came from somebody. I just thought of the guy who created Winnie the Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
He said that to the best of your ability, be the person that you as a child want to be in the future.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's essentially what you're saying. But I'm just saying, like, people, like, that's... I've heard that be said in many circles and be said by, you know, many people.
Right.
And I think that's that's really important. And I don't think a lot of people really ask that question. So yeah.
Well, so there's another quote that I'll also say, and this is from Ted Lasso. Great show.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I loved it.
I've
I
yet to
loved
see
the crap
it.
out
It's
of
kind
it.
of stupid. It's on Apple TV, and it's a freaking, but whatever, you know.
It's amazing. Just has so much heart. It is just one of the sweetest shows.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis. He played like masterful. It was great.
He was Ted.
He was Ted.
Good. Is he like that in real life?
I don't know.
Is he a real
I've never met him.
stand-up guy?
Never met him.
Or is he like Tom Cruise, where he's like, you know, he's so nice in a film and he gets off set, he's like, yeah, and he just
I
like
don't know.
hates everybody.
I don't know. I haven't met him. I've heard he's fine, but I don't know. Haven't met him.
What's his name? Ted Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis. Ted Lasso.
I don't know. I combined the two.
I don't know, but you did. Anyway,
Jason Lasso.
he said this:
What a last name.
"Be curious, not judgmental.
Wow.
Be curious, not judgmental."
How about be curious about being judgmental?
Let's not know. And I think that's very apt.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think people are curious enough. I think they're just very quick to say this is the blah 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 blah,
Mm-hmm.
instead of being like, well,
So you need to get a funfetti cake and like throw it in their face. You know what? Oh my gosh. Oh. First of all, I love cake. Second of all,
You like
freaking,
cake?
you know a movie that
I do know a
is
movie.
symbolic for like everything that we're talking about? That is one of my
Ratatouille.
No. Well, kinda. Most Disney movies. A movie that I have recently showed you that is my top 5 of all time.
Walter Schmitty.
Oh my god, the Secret
You just
Life.
made your leg red.
You made your red rag. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. If you have not seen that movie, just leave right now. Pause. You can come back and watch, or you can finish. We'd
No.
rather that.
Yeah.
But, well, hello. That movie, for me, and I think for most people, if not everybody who's seen it, is life changing. What's his name? Who's the guy who played it?
His name?
He was in the
I know. I mean, his
something
name
Midnight
is
Museum.
Night at the Museum, not Midnight Museum. That's another film.
Yeah, don't recommend watching that.
Um,
Anyways, no, that
what's his
movie
name?
pretty much wraps up everything we've talked about today, and I think it's wonderful. I love everything about it. There's not one critique that I have. And if you're an avid movie watcher, you need to go watch it right now if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, put a comment and tell us how much you like that movie, and hey, and also recommend some other movies, because me and you really like films, and who knows, maybe somebody else might come across this video and they're like, hey.
Mhm.
I don't know this person in the comment section, but they put down a cool movie. I'm gonna check it out because be curious, not
Judgmental.
exactly. And they're gonna be like, "Man, that was a real good movie." And then they're gonna then they're gonna message the random person that commented a really good movie, and they're like, "Oh my gosh,
That's right.
are
So-
you a guy?" And they're gonna be like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Well, I'm a girl. We love each other. Get married, have kids, and then it just keeps going, spreading the love."
Hey. Okay.
And that's that. So
No, but I wanted to say another thing, right? Because I don't know what just happened there. I'm gonna bring it back. I know you're a weaver,
I'm weaving.
but I'm bringing it
Nobody
back.
else
I'm
can
bringing it
weave
back.
like
Okay,
me.
we're bringing it back. So
Nobody else.
in Ted Lasso, right?
Yeah,
He's a soccer coach, a football coach.
Yep.
And every time they leave the room, like what do you call it?
Locker room.
The locker room.
There you go. It's got lockers and it's a room. Thus the locker
Oh
room.
no, it's his office actually. It's right above his office.
so the office.
So every
room.
time you go into his office,
Yep.
you have to smack
tap the thing.
Well, it's above his door, and you know what it says?
Love soccer.
No, it says believe.
Okay.
It
Same
says
thing.
believe. No. So, and I think that's a great message, right? Because it's like believe,
Have hope.
have faith, believe.
Just be.
Like, what's the point of doing something if you don't believe it can actually happen?
Yeah.
You know, you have to believe. You have to actually live your life in a way in which you're living it out. as if you believe
Yeah.
that these things can happen,
Mhm.
that amazing things happen, that the world has magic in it,
Yeah.
that it's colorful.
It's
and
kind of like
worth
those
living.
restoring faith in humanity kind of videos.
Well, it's more like restoring your faith in what life means. Like, it doesn't have to be a drab, monotonous existence.
Yeah.
It can be so much more.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said.
Which is, Walter Mitty did it.
Walter Schmidt.
Okay, he
Yeah.
swam with the dolphins, right?
No, a porpoise.
Yeah, but it
I
wasn't.
don't think it's a porpoise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I know. I was there.
No, you weren't.
And then, he met the photographer, and he went to the top of a
Don't
mountain.
spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay.
It's a great movie. Go watch it. We're not gonna say anything else.
Okay, but listen, the point
I've been listening.
he
this whole
went
time.
there. He was some
I
guy
hope you've been listening.
doing
if you
a normal
haven't,
thing,
you're freaking.
and he
you
went
missed
there.
the whole point.
He freaking went there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would rather go and meet the people.
Yeah.
And fight.
It's oh my god! It
and
hits the
just
freaking
go.
hammer on the nail.
Right.
Hits the nail. Is that right?
I know. I'm not talking to you. So.
Is that right? It hits the.
No, it doesn't hit the hammer with the nail. Okay, that's insane. So
it hit the.
that's
hit
like
the,
if
it hit
Bob
the nail.
the Builder.
No. What's
Bob
the
the
saying,
Builder.
It hit, what? It's like if Bob the Builder. You know what? No,
It's like if he fell and hit his head, and he's like, I gotta hit the hammer with the nail.
We're weaving way too much. We
Yeah,
gotta
but
bring
listen,
it back.
hold
in.
on.
You gotta. You're weaving.
Continue.
I think I've said all I need to say.
But the point is, like, honestly, and I've done it. I did it before. That trip. To
Boil
Greece,
it down.
That trip to Greece that I took, I booked it in a week.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. It was
Again,
like
and it
literally
goes
the
back-
week before I had to leave. I booked it. I was like, I'm going.
And it goes back to one of our other favorite channels that we believe in. Yes Theory, seek discomfort. Literally their motto is seek discomfort. It's going to take suffering, it's going to take a lot of discomfort, but it's going to end up breeding.
Well, I wouldn't even say seek discomfort. Seek meaning.
Well,
seek
no, but the things they
purpose.
do, it's like they're based around spontaneity.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
this
again,
is,
like
but
you were
it's
saying,
more
like-
than that. It's
I
more than
know.
just spontaneity.
I know, but you were
It's
talking about
meaning.
like booking the trip to Greece in a week.
Yeah,
Like
because-
most people don't have the freaking cojones to do that.
Yeah, I know they don't have nothing.
So grow a pair. God, you know.
Well,
that's,
what I'm,
put
that's what
that
I'm
on
saying,
a
it's like
t-shirt.
you have a house, you have all this stuff, but if you apart from having responsibilities to other people, right?
Yeah, because that's important. You can't just leave your kids.
No,
and
you
you're like,
can't.
I want to go travel
That's-
freaking
that is a-
Espanol.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
If you are single,
Yeah.
and you are just like, I just got to do this, blah, whatever,
Mhm.
go, literally go,
Literally everything you keep
go
saying.
to South America
Mm.
and friggin' talk to the tribes there, or go out and fish for a tiger fish on the rivers there.
It's very
or-
specific. Is that a dream you have?
No, that was freaking from Jeremy Wade. He fished one of them suckers out.
It's good.
It's huge.
Well, again, everything you're describing,
Aggressive-looking
everything you're
fish.
describing is basically the freaking script for Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So go watch the movie, damn it.
I think some of the most interesting people I've ever met live that way. They have all these cool
Yeah.
little knickknacks and they're
Yeah.
eclectic, but my God, they had a life worth living.
Yeah, and they always say, "I have no regrets."
Yeah,
And I
and
think
you know
that's
what?
the most important thing.
Maybe they don't have $1 million in the bank account when they're dead.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe they don't. But
You're not
you know
gonna
what they
die with $1
have?
million.
They have something worth more than money. They have memories.
That's right. That is right.
And they have experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And they have
Oh, hey.
a rich life full of different friends. Ow,
so sorry.
man, you scratched me with
Did
that
I?
long
I don't
nail.
even have any nails.
I don't care. Continue what you're
God,
saying.
you're so stupid. We've talked about it many a time, and we would rather be the old man sitting in like this rinky-dink chair that I made out of freaking like bubble gum and twigs in the middle of freaking South America, being like,
Sticks and raspberries.
"Come
actually.
over here, grandchildren. I had the greatest life."
God, why are you so
ever."
decrepit?
Or you.
Why are you like Grandolph's
I don't know.
granddad?
No, but like you know.
Grandolph?
Randolph? Why would you want to be Randolph's children? Why would you, like, wouldn't you rather be the man, like the old dude, just the old hillbilly that's sitting on a twig chair and he's had, like, the greatest stories and there's no regrets? Or would you rather be the other guy who's still in an office chair at 89, typing in things and he's like, I've never done anything in my life. And
I
I'm
would
so
rather
depressed."
be like the Oogway and the Yoda
Yeah.
and the
That's why they're always
Gandalf.
good characters.
Well, they lived so much life in those
Yeah.
movies. Like their history is rich.
And also,
and they
I don't know how
teach-
Yoda was so old. He was so small. His freaking.
I don't think that's
his
how it works.
His intestines couldn't keep up with
What do you think?
thousands of years.
I don't know how he was so old. He was so small. What does it even
That's how
mean?
physics work. You can't be small and live for that long. Look at the trees. They're so old because they're big.
Bonsai trees are freaking older than that. Like 800 years old.
I think you're an idiot. So,
Um,
anyways, you want to add anything else?
yeah. Basically, be Yoda.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was great. Thanks for watching. Please click that bell and subscribe for more content and comment what you want to see next. And honestly, recommend a movie because love films.
Okay, let's
Why do you keep
wrap
saying
it up. Wrap
No,
it in.
I am.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. We love you. We'll see you next time.
All right, bye.
And later on the Minjays.